So in our other video, I believe we discussed the B12 issue, and B12 is the one food that we don't really get in a vegan diet. It is a vitamin that is rich in animal-based proteins. That said, there are a lot of meat eaters who wind up with B12 deficiency because it has a lot to do with your colon health and your body's ability to digest and metabolize the vitamins. So, and that a lot of that happens in your colon actually. You may have even heard that sometimes dirt actually contains B12. So some people, if they live, for example, on an organic farm and they know that the soil is amazing, they'll actually, well, they just won't be super vigilant about washing the dirt off of their food because they're getting some B12. So that probably isn't appealing. So because that probably isn't going to work for your lifestyle or your taste, you can consume algae like spirulina. There's a product I mentioned in the other video called E3 Live, and you can get a pretty good amount of B12 from that product. Beyond that, it is the one thing that you aren't guaranteed to get by consuming vegan foods unless you're doing a ton of algae and whatnot. So it is a supplement you may want to take. In that case, I would recommend using a whole food-based form of B12, and you can just simply ask for that at your health food store.
When it comes to supplements, what would be the must-have? So you say the B12 would be most likely for most people. Are there any other supplements that you think you really should consider taking?
Again, I would focus on eating really well and on avoiding the crappy stuff. I would focus on adding the superfoods, which are kind of like supplements in themselves. They're like whole food supplements. But beyond that, if there is an anxiety about getting everything, again, I don't ever want my clients to be stressed. So if I sense that anxiety, I often recommend to them a whole food-based multivitamin. So not a synthetic one, but again, ask for a whole food-based one. There's a few different companies out there. There's one called, there's a company called Garden of Life. There's another company called New Chapters. There's an institute called the Hippocrates Institute in West Palm, Florida. I order a lot of things that I like to use from them because I really trust them as a source of whole food, amazing products. So find a whole food-based multi if you're worried, and that will help you to cover those bases, and you'll also be getting, of course, a